right? It says why machine learning is essential for social analysis. As humans, we're pretty good at understanding language. We know how to interpret words based on context, tone, and what we know about the person saying them. And this applies to the words we read on social media as well. We know when someone is being sarcastic, making a joke, or likely a spam bot. While computers have gotten a lot better at interpreting those things as well, a fully automated tool can't compete with humans when it comes to understanding and categorizing the language used in social posts. So, does this mean that brands should rely solely on manual social media analysis, meaning you have an actual human that goes through the social media posts and decide, what are the trends, the patterns, and so on and so forth? Of course not. While you could manually sort through a long list of posts to find answers to your questions, the process isn't scalable and can't keep up with the speed of consumer opinion and trends. Because we're talking about, as it says here, trillions of social media posts. Enter machine learning. For social media analysis, a machine learning algorithm combines human understanding with the scale and speed of automation. Analysis built on machine learning allows you or your analysis team to train the algorithm to categorize posts just as a human would. Imagine you're trying to analyze a social conversation about the Tide detergent. Using the keyword-based search for Tide would return the results of people talking about Ocean, turning the tide, and the Alabama Crimson Tide, and in addition to many posts that are not about detergent. Machine learning powered social analysis enables you to pinpoint exactly what you're looking for by using examples posed to train the algorithm to recognize patterns of language that indicate a post is about Tide instead of something else. And that's just a start. Machine learning's ability to interpret nuances of language and return the most relevant results reaches far beyond identifying brand mentions. Social analysis machine learning makes it possible to answer questions like, what drives people to purchase my product? How are consumers using my product? And what consumer trends provide the biggest business input? Right? It says Arthur Samuel, an early pioneer in the field of artificial intelligence, defined machine learning as the subfield of computer science that gives computers the ability to learn without explicitly being programmed. Additionally, Wikipedia describes machine learning as a scientific discipline that explores the construction and study of algorithms that can learn from data. What does this mean for social media analytics? Machine learning gives an analysis tool the ability to learn exactly what you're looking for in social media posts and categorizing posts based on training. But why is this necessary? Why isn't there an algorithm that doesn't need to learn? It already understands what I want to find. The reason lies in the unstructured nature of social media data. Now, let's unpack and talk about what all this is talking about. So the example that is using, is products, and a company wanting to sell their products based on social media trends. So let's put it down to simpler levels that we can understand, right? That everybody is used to, everyday uses. When you install a social media app, say for example YouTube, right? And you create a YouTube account, you've used YouTube for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, even a couple of days. You don't have to go to a couple of weeks, a couple of days. You realize that YouTube has now started to suggest and to recommend videos based on your watch history, right? That's a machine learning algorithm. That's learning based on the data that you input, based on your search queries and the videos that you watch. It recommends, based on your personality then. So the YouTube app start to form a personality profile based on your preferences. The same goes for Twitter. The same goes for Instagram, Facebook, or any other social media platform, right? So that's machine learning right there. That's artificial intelligence right there, right? For example, I was reasoning with one of the Akim yesterday in Hertfordshire, and he gave a perfect example of something that I'm familiar with as well. When he was living in Spanish Town, that was a year or two ago, maybe 3 years ago, he travels to work every day, 5 days a week. And one day, his phone suggested to him to take another route that's 15 minutes shorter. Now, he never put into his phone where he worked or where he lived. But you know what the phone does? The phone said, all right, he spends roughly 8 or 9 hours a day for 5 days at this location. This must be work, right? At nighttime, he's at this location right throughout the night. This must be home. That's machine learning. That's artificial intelligence. Learning based on your movement patterns, where you live and where you work. That's machine learning, right? Another simple thing, right? If you collect a lot of data based on traffic patterns in a certain city, right, you can create an algorithm that predicts the way our traffic flows in that city. For example, Kingston City, the algorithm would realize that at between 7 and 8 a.m. there's a shitload of traffic on the road. Between 5 and 7 p.m. there's a shitload of traffic on the road, because those are peak hours. And then the traffic flow throughout the day would also be able to be predicted based on data collected by that algorithm, right? So let's jump over to the next article then. It says how big data is empowering AI and machine learning. Right? The world is growing at an enormous speed every moment. Right, when is this posted? November 2017, just recently again. It said, and at the same speed is growing the overall data size across the globe, which is technically constitute the term big data. Right? Apart from big data, a yet another technological revolution that is taking place by storm these days is AI and machine learning. In simple terms, AI and machine learning is a set of technologies that empowers connected computers or machines to learn, evolve, and improve on their own language by reiterating, meaning repeating, and consistently updating data banks through recursive experiments and human intervention. As a matter of fact, the technology giants, corporations, and data scientists worldwide are already foreseeing big data to make huge difference in overall AI and machine learning landscape, right? Because what they're finding is that when you collect massive amounts of data about a system, right, and you write an algorithm that can recognize patterns in that data, right, then that algorithm can now predict future actions. So for example, let's use NCB, National Commercial Bank, which is one of the biggest banks here in Jamaica, right? NCB now has started a new thing that they call NCB Career Shift, where they've laid off over 200 tellers. They're hiring a lot of data scientists, software developers, programmers, network security experts, and why are they doing this? Here's a pretty good scenario. When a data scientist, or along with a software developer or a programmer, writes an algorithm, right? And what do they use to feed the algorithm? Well, they collect data from everybody that use their services. So there's a big push to have everybody interface, or to have everybody connect with NCB on a digital level or on digital platforms. So whether you use your phone, whether you use the internet, or whether you use the automated teller machines, right? So all the interactions that you have with NCB then are from digital platforms, so that data can be collected in digital form, stored on digital servers, right? So that's a lot of data from everybody using the digital platforms every day on a daily basis, from thousands and hundreds of thousands of people, right? And an artificial intelligent algorithm can collect data from all these sources, right? And based on how we use it, can predict trends in how a certain demographic uses NCB products. For example, the teen age, or the young people age, or the old people age. And using this data can recognize patterns and then say, okay, suggest loan products or other financial products that the bank can make to suit its consumers' needs and uses. Something as simple as that, right? And this is something that's already in use, right? So to make decisions like that decision is usually a decision of a marketing director, right? Or somebody who is in charge of creating loan products or creating financial products. And AI can do that, right? So it's not just the repetitive automated jobs that will be replaced by AI, right? It's the complex ones as well. And as we read before, the ones that require emotional intelligence as well, right? Let's continue. Inherently, machine learning is defined as an advanced application of AI in interconnected machines and peripherals by granting them access to database, making them learn new things from it on their own in a programmed manner. As the size of big data is continually growing, a new ground is being broken in analyzing its implications as well. It is becoming more meaningful and contextually relevant for machines to have a better idea of their functions with the help of big data analysis. Now, here's the thing. Say, for example, you collect data from, say we use Kingston City as an example, the city of Kingston. You collect data from multiple platforms, from multiple interfaces about the people of Kingston, how they go about their day, the traffic patterns, the social media usage, their eating habits, all these things, right? What you can do then is feed that into an algorithms that can find patterns in how people behave and all that good stuff, decisions people make, what are the trending topics on social media, how people respond to certain news articles that are pushed out. Right? And based on that, you can predict how an entire city acts as a whole organism. Right? So using that information, predicting how an entire city will act in unison, right? You can then manipulate that entire city by pushing it in a direction, right, that you want to go, right? By changing the opinion of an entire city at the same time. Right, coupling social engineering with artificially intelligent machine learning algorithms. It's as simple as that, yo. It's as simple as that, right? So like for example, next year, 2019, the plan is to drop 5G, in the United States, and of course it's going to trickle down to Jamaica pretty soon after that. And then the next idea is to digitalize identity, to digitalize the way how you relate and interact with the world around you. So we have, the Internet of Things, so everything around us, in and around us, including ourselves, interact on a digital level with each other and with a connected server with the internet. So therefore, everything, will be an input device, basically, for big data, for an AI to collect information about that. And learning the patterns of people, learning how people think from their social media posts, and for example, right? So Esau in this way will become what? Will become omnipotent. That's the idea, to become all-knowing, to become God, right? So it says one of the major concerns people have about AI today is that it will minimize human requirements in all the job sectors, as most of the work will be done by robots and AIs-based computers in the future. While the truth is far from it, when observed the role to be played by big data in the picture, the sentimental and emotional big data analysis will always require human intelligence, as machines lack emotional intelligence and decision-making abilities based on sentiments. That is not true, because we just read an article. The first article that we read shows that we now have emotionally intelligent machines and AI that are able to make decisions based on sentiment, because they are reading and recognizing patterns in how we interact with each other, right? So, not to make this lesson, too long, but you've gotten the general idea. I'll post the articles for brothers to go through. Let's just jump through a few scriptures. This is Ezekiel 28:1. It says, "The word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, say to the prince of Tyrus, Thus saith the Lord power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas." Because that's exactly what Esau is saying. No, I have, because they have a quote by not a quote, it's a video that was posted about a year or two ago by the CEO of Google. I think his name is Sundar Pichai, who is saying that Google is God, because Google knows everything, right? So and that's the sentiment of Esau as well, that they know everything based on big data, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and all that interconnectivity, right? He says, "Yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide for thee." And that's self-explanatory, right? We willingly give our information to social media, We have to interact with the digital world. Therefore, we give information about ourselves, about our movement, about our decision making, about our opinions and ideas. Even me uploading this video to YouTube is also giving information. Right? It says, with thy wisdom and with thine understanding thou hast gotten thee riches and hast gotten thee gold and silver by thy great